Okay, trying this again. Hey everyone, my name is Cerebellum, and today we're gonna take a look at SuFiX de facto's Phantom Lancer solo safe lane. And he's gonna have a pretty miserable game here today. He's gonna be solo safe lane because they have an Enigma, and the Lina decided to go off lane with their Mirana. So they have a Lina Mirana lane off lane and a solo Phantom Lancer up here. Now this is gonna end up pretty badly for our main man SuFiX here. As he or SuFiX, I don't know. Pretty much because this is one of the worst matchups solo for the Phantom Lancer. The Phantom Lancer is quite good at harassment, but you know, Lich's ultimate is obviously fantastic against a hero with Phantom Lancer. His main escapability in Doppelganger does create other illusions. So if you just try to use Doppelganger on the Lich's ultimate, it will still just, you'll pretty much just create more stuff for you to bounce on. So if the Lich is just a little bit careful on when he throws it out, that'll be a problem. The Lich in general is one of the heaviest harassers in lane in the entire game. So you know, that's also really bad for an illusion hero that doesn't have especially much HP like the Phantom Lancer. He does have a really good right click. He is gonna land himself some farm here, but he's gonna get forced out of lane pretty fast. He only has 4 tangos. Now he has 2 clarities, but unfortunately, if we just take the Lich here for a second, this is the cast range on the Frost Blast. So if you activate a clarity on the Phantom Lancer, the Lich is pretty much free to cancel it if you in any way, shape or form try to go for a last hit, unless you want to spend the 125 or 30 mana for the Spirit Lance to try and last it with it, which obviously you're not going to do. So yeah, he can counter harass a little bit with the Phantom Lance. It does do a good amount of damage, especially since it also gives you an illusion. But you know, he doesn't have any way to recuperate his mana. He's already had one, just had a clarity cancel just now. He is doing very well on the last hits, but I mean, the problem is it's kind of not going to be enough.
First blood.
And now the thing to keep in mind here is the trade-off here is, while he's having a pretty bad lane already, the other lanes should be quite good. Like, having a dual off lane is a lot better than having a solo off lane, especially Lina Mirana is a pretty solid lane in my opinion. They have a very good chance of landing a kill, or at least contesting a lot of farm against the Spectre. So that should be pretty good for them. And Alicia isn't really the scariest guy to give some farm. So in that sense, you know, for overall for his team, this isn't that bad. But for his own farm, he is doing fantastic on the farm so far. But you know, that's gonna change. Now we see he's pretty much being forced out of lane now. At this point, right here, he's got no clarities. He's level 4, so that means the Lich is probably also level 4, probably a bit above because he can sacrifice. So the Lich is probably approaching level 6 at this point. That's very dangerous for the Phantom Lancer in any state of affairs. So even though he's gotten some last hits, he's doing decently in terms of net worth. He's probably up there. Yeah, he's second in net worth right now. He pretty much can't stay in lane. Like the Lich, even just with the Frost Blast, he can do 100 damage now, and that's, you know, that's something he can just throw out. He every 36 seconds he gets to get free mana. So the Lich can just throw out a ridiculous amount of harassment here. And you know, that's going to be a problem for the Phantom here. Just that harassment will put him in within spitting distance of killing here. So he is pretty much forced to just run back now. Now he doesn't do that, and that's one of the key mistakes here in the laning phase. We're gonna focus a lot on this laning phase because even though they end up winning this game, this is one of the things that definitely goes wrong for our guy here. So he tries to juke around here. Tries to dodge the Frost Blast there with the Doppelganger, very close to it. But we see here that this doesn't even need his ultimate. And now, very close with that Sunstrike from the Invoker, but the Lich has his ultimate now. That pretty much means you can't go back to this lane as Phantom Lancer. Your only escape makes 2 targets for the thing to bounce to. Like this is possibly the worst lane for the Phantom Lancer. And I think, you know, not going back there, just recognize defeat, recognize, you know, there's nothing good can come of staying in lane when you have no regen and you're at 300 health against the Lich. That's, you know, nothing good will come of that. Probably at that point you should talk to your teammates, despite it being randoms, you know, try and see what you can make happen. He's trying to force the Lich back now, but the Lich does have his ultimate, so that's it's a dangerous gambit right there. Tries to go on the Lich. Oh, close. Yeah, he should have had that, honestly. He just thought that the illusion would do a bit more damage there than it did, and he's actually doing still pretty fine on the farm. I don't know why the music stopped. That's so weird, this music. There we go. So he's actually doing fine so far. He's died once. There comes the Lich Ult, and boom. So he's close to finishing off the Lich, but it's still a really bad matchup. Like, the Lich is doing a lot, and now the Lich has gotten 2 kills. The Lich is doing absolutely fantastic. It is kind of... Well, he's close to trading with the Lich, let's put it that way. The first time the Lich killed him, that was pretty one-sided. He almost got the Lich once, and now they almost traded. Like, I think the Lich Ult pretty much... Yeah, I don't think he got especially unlucky there. It did bounce to creeps quite a lot. And now you have 2 guys moving in on this lane. I think, you know, I think at this point, it's pretty... he's doing pretty poorly in net worth just because he's died so much.
Top tower is
yeah,
under
he's
attack.
pretty much being crushed in lane now. 2 deaths, pretty bad at 7 minutes. So, yeah, fortunately I think the new Phantom Lancer, with the changes being made to him, he's a pretty fantastic comeback hero. Just because of how resilient he is and just how much he gets out of just getting the Fuser Blades. There we are, the Lich, still just, you know, with the level advantage he's gotten now and general advantage. He's already level 9, he's super scary. So yeah, I wouldn't wanna, yeah. You're pretty much a free kill against him now. And I think laning against this guy solo at this point is a huge mistake. I think that death was almost inexcusable. That was almost what I would call a feed. So, you know, it's kind of up to your teammates to actually make something happen here. Because, you know, either they need to switch lanes with you, which I think would have been the better choice. Or the other choice would have been just don't go back to this lane. Go to bottom, try to see if you can make a fight happen. Because you do have 4 levels of advanced Spirit Lance, you do have something you can contribute with. And you do get some extra illusions now. You can use this ability, Doppelganger, effectively, offensively, especially once you get a Diffuser Blade. Of course, you're quite far from that at the moment. But we're gonna look at this game until about minute...
Radiant's middle tower is
probably about 10 minutes, and we'll see what kind of situation becomes there. Because they actually managed to win this one, but I think the main... yeah, there we go again. Really easy kill there for the Viper and the Lich. Almost didn't need the Lich on there at all, but they threw it out anyway. And I think that's a good investment for the Lich. Just any kind of ensured kill is great at 10 minutes. And the Lich is obviously crushing it. The one bad thing is here, he's going straight for an Aghanim, so I don't think that's worth it at all here. Right. They manage a return kill there, which is actually quite good. If you look at the gold change, that's almost 800 gold change and 1400 experience, so that's quite big. That is more than a level for our Phantom Lancer here that just got off just killing that Lich. So that's a pretty big mistake. We see here the impact, just 1 level of the ult. And by the way, I agree completely with the skilling here from him. I think Doppelganger is actually a fantastic ability, but I think the Phantom Rush is also insane, and you need to get that up to probably maxed pretty soon. Then again, getting levels on this guy isn't the big problem. Again, you are completely a free kill for this Lich. At this point, I would actually consider just going jungling. Just to, you know, get up. You just need to farm up that Diffuser Blade. Once you can get the Diffuser Blade, you are back in the game, but before that, you honestly made him really effective. So they get a really good initiation here with the Black Hole. Not so much to say about that. We can just check it again. There isn't too much. The reason I'm not looking too much at these fights is it doesn't have so much to do with the Phantom Lancer, and there aren't really many chances for him to micro. It's mostly decision making that's kind of bringing him down this game. So they come in there. The Enigma sets up a fantastic Black Hole with the Moonlight Shadow from the Mirana. They get 3 really easy kills, and obviously this is a huge fight for the Dire team here. This is an absolutely insanely huge fight. So that's easily 2,500 golden swing and 3,500 experience. So that's gonna leave a mark. Yeah, that's actually putting it over to Dire advantage. That's one thing I want to really stress here. Even though they went behind on the kills, they still have a jungling Enigma. Don't discount that. That's insane. he's gonna be doing... It's like having a 4th lane almost. That's how the pros view it. If you have a jungling Enigma uncontested, that's like having like 4 lanes of farm. So even though the Phantom Lancer got kind of crushed in lane, they had this Enigma which kind of makes up for it. So if you look at the net worths now, the Enigma's doing really well, the Mirana's doing really well, the Spectre's doing really well, which is kind of scary, but still you are still very much in the game, despite the kill is not really going your way. Both because of that fight, the really nice combo there from the Mirana and the Enigma, and because of the Enigma just getting the jungle, and in a sense just the fact that you kind of took the fall for your team here, took the hard lane. You died way more than you should have, obviously, but still, like, it's not all lost. It's still, the other guys had decent lanes. The Invoker isn't doing too hot, but you know, it's all still salvageable just because of you had that Enigma pretty much, and the fact that your offlane didn't fail completely. So let's
Radiant's top tower
come in,
is
finally
under
get this top
Radiant's
tier.
top tower has
But he's
Radiant
0-5 and 4.
structures
This
of
is
Radiant's
pretty
bottom
horrible
tower
for any
is
kind of
under
hard
attack.
carry, and I think that's what the new Phantom Lancer is. Though he's, you know, you do need a lot of gold now for to get that diffusal blade, and I think that should be your next item here. If memory serves, that is gonna be his next item. So yeah, we see here he's got no trouble at all taking on these jungle camps. These illusions that you get from Juxtapose actually have more tank than you would think, just because of the fact he has so much armor. Of course, all illusions get all your base stats, and he does have really good base stat gain. Like now, he still has 3 agility gain. Before this last patch, it was 4. Above 4, 4.2 or something ridiculous like that, but now it's 3 is still really good. We just have a bunch of passive farming here. Now a little bit of a fight. Yeah, looks like the Spectre wanted to use her ult there just to kill off the Lina. Probably worth it. For their team still. I mean, the Radiant team are still doing fantastic. They're getting all the farm and the heroes they needed to. Pretty good initiation there. We see PL, he was a little bit worried about something there. Very nice black hole there from the Enigma. Very early blink dagger from the Enigma as well. Very nice. And they can just come in and do a lot of damage here. He actually went for drums. Okay, I don't agree with that. I think the what's it called? Yeah, the diffusal blade is just too good on him. But we can see here just the power of the PL. He has got no items, he can still run down the silencer, and the silencer is pretty much the only one who's less farmed than the PL. Yeah, he's not got a solo lane of XP either, so you know, maybe that's not too impressive, but he's still, like, you're far from useless, even though you have this you haven't got any farm at all. So yeah, the Nyx jumps into this creep. He did unfortunately jump into a creep that was in deny range. If he'd been a little bit more aware and he jumped into one of these that weren't, then, you know, he might have gotten out here, but unfortunately they're gonna get him eventually here. There we are, and that's the Nyx, and he's dead.
Dire's top tower is Radiant's bottom
So I mean,
tower
okay,
is
the
under
drums
attack.
is good, but I think, you know, it is 2,000 gold, just over 2,000 gold. That's most of your diffusal blade. I would have been very remiss to not go for that diffusal blade, I think. Raw stats on the Phantom Lancer isn't
Dire's
that
top
good
tower
now,
has
I
fallen.
think. Though I don't have that much experience with him. I've actually only played one game of the new Phantom Lancer. So, but my impression is that he's very good at coming back, and his stat gain is good enough that this drums I would maybe not even consider going it, just because you're getting 9 of every attribute, and that's just, you know, oh, I can't do that now. Oh, I hate this new replay thing. I'm gonna mention that every time now because it's so big. 1.7 strength is pretty good. 3 agility is obviously fantastic, and I believe it's 1.7, 2 intelligence actually, so he's got a very good stat gain. Like, I don't think the drums is really worth it on a hero with this good a stat gain. And here we see him jungling here, no problems at all, despite having still really low farm. So, you know, we are pretty long into the game, but be aware that you can just pass a farm up on this guy, it's not a problem at all. So he's gonna go in on the Spectre here. The Spectre is really quite farmed. And yeah, very nice run up on there. Liquid comes in, and now they can finish off the Spectre, I believe. Nope. Okay. So an unfortunate engagement there. normally here you would see, I keep mentioning this, so I'm gonna just keep mentioning it further, but normally here you'd see high level players like this Phantom Lancer. At 4k MMR they would actually be watching something while they're dead, spending that time on something sensible, but maybe he had something distracting him in real life. Hard to tell. Still notice how much impact he's having despite having been shot down as much as he has been. Like, it's almost like he can just rely on, as soon as you get the level 4 Spirit Lance and a few levels of Phantom Rush, you can actually bully people really effectively in small scale engagements. As long as it's not the Lich here, or maybe the Viper, I think you're pretty, or maybe the Spectre at this point. I think you're pretty good to just bully people, despite like there's still for the amount of carry potential you have, you're really good at with just some XP, I think. So it seems really strong at the moment to me. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy saw a nerf next patch.
Dominating.
One thing to mention is that unlike other illusion heroes, your illusions on Phantom Lancer last not very long. Like, they are very short-lived. So you can't really split push with them. I don't think you're very good with Radiance now. Again, we see it's a Lich. I don't know why he didn't throw out his ult. Maybe it's off, on cooldown. Yeah, it's on cooldown, so that's why he didn't throw the ult on you and just kill you. But that was a bit risque. Go. It's gonna be a bit of a fight here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And catch out the Lich on the back of this.
Dire's middle tower is
Do get the Lich, but then you die. It's hard to say whether that was worth it. Well, the overall engagement wasn't worth it, but it was also the Enigma dying. You didn't really have a lot to do with that, so... Again, he's just kinda idling. That's one thing I would remark on. There's no reason for you to just be idling here. Oh, that's because we're on Hero Chase, actually. So never mind that, he is probably doing something else. I had it on Hero Chase for the intro, because normally I want to just be centered on the hero, and I forgot to change it back here, so... Sorry about that. We're gonna just... I want to just get a little bit of gameplay in, where he does have his... Is this what he's looking at? Yeah, so he was actually looking at this. He was trying to make it to the fight, but then he just decided not to. He's actually gonna go down here, just push this wave a little bit, and a little bit, I mean very little. With yeah, he's trying to split push a little more than I think is good. He's still one of the least farmed heroes in this game. He does have some farm, like he's not completely starved. But, I mean, he's still like a power threats and a drums, really. And soon he's gonna have his diffusal bait, and I wanna just show you how much of a difference that makes, because it's quite insane yeah, I think. But he's finally got pretty much free farm off a lane, which will give him this diffusal bait pretty fast. It's not that expensive of an item. So, now we have it. And I wanted to show you just a few engagements. Now, he isn't that good at team fights. That's the one thing I want to mention about it. There's a lot of these AoE abilities will really kill your illusions. They aren't very tanky. Most of them come from this juxtapose, which they take 400% of your damage, so they're a quarter of your life, which is still not a lot. So even though they have good armor and stuff, it's it's not that good. They'll still take a lot, but they do a lot of damage now. So, and they don't last a long time. You'll replenish them very fast. It's mainly heroes like the Lich, like the Earthshaker, maybe like Legion Commander, that can really kinda tear you down. There we go. And you see now just a ton of damage coming out here. Once we get to the fight recap, I can just show you how much damage is actually coming out of this Phantom Lancer here. Brianna very nicely leading the nasty nuke from the Lich away there. A lot of illusions here. Of course, you can use the doppelganger to trigger extra illusions. And there we are. So let's just see. That was just Alina dying. We're gonna wait and see if we can get the. Yeah, he got a dominating there. So he just got most of the fight kills there, so there was a huge difference there. If we take a look at the damage done, the Spectre did most of the damage over here, and we see the Phantom Lancer, even though he got completely shut down, even though he died 5, he was 0 and 5 at like 10-15 minutes into the game. He just picked up this diffusal blade, he goes into the fight and does 3,500 damage, gets like probably 5 kills there, I think. or 4 kills. I think he got every kill there. That was pretty great. Like, he got a lot, and this hero seems pretty good for it. He's good to upgrade up his diffusal blade. He could buy an entire Yasha now, would be pretty good. Head up for, you know, a Amanda style for even more illusions. He's got a pretty decent mana pool. I think he could support it, honestly. Of course, you get he's got a lot of stats now, and stacking up stats on this guy is pretty good. And this is a Phantom Lancer. I just want to stress this. This is a Phantom Lancer almost without any farm. Like, this is, you know, he's still just slightly below average in this game. He just shut down an entire team with a Spectre that had, you know, Radiance. Oh yeah, right, Crimson Guard. I forgot the Spectre went for this Crimson Guard. I really don't like this item pickup. I think she should have gone for a heart. I think a heart would have been pretty much perfect for this guy, especially since she's pretty much a naked Radiance with, like, she's also going for the Diffusal Blade now. This is a very offensive Spectre build. I think she needs some raw HP. She does not have the HP gain. Like, she's at 50 strength now. We see the Phantom Lancer is about the same at level 17. Yeah, she needs an HP item pretty bad here. Like, the diffusal damage from the thing here is obviously just gonna burn through her, because she doesn't have the heart. Even though she's got the Crimson Guard, she can block a lot of the physical damage, but the proc damage from the diffusals are just gonna tear her a new one. So unfortunate that she went for this build. She might have been able to turn the fight if she'd had more appropriate tank. Yeah, so, but I just wanted to show you that fight, and now the PL is becoming a real force in this game. Despite, you know, being so utterly shut down, honestly, I want to avoid saying this as much as possible, but this guy seems, this new version of PL seems pretty good, guys. I think it's a good hero. It's pretty absurd. He's okay. He did get free farm for a little bit, but I mean, he's died 7 times, and he's only got 100 the last hits. It doesn't seem like he's, you know, okay. He's gotten just a lot of streaks here, so maybe that's what's doing it. Maybe, but he did get a drums before his diffusal even, so it doesn't seem like, you know, that would be the thing. But it's just, honestly, you get up to this max amount of illusions so fast, and, you know, you just need to win one fight, and you pretty much have your level 2 ultimate, and you can pretty much get your diffusal off of just one fight, even though you get completely shut down now with the combat gold. So it seems pretty
bottom tower is under
seems
attack.
like a really good hero. it's just it. They even have a pretty decent counter in the Lich. Maybe the Lich, you know, maybe the Lich just needs to recognize, I need to throw my ultimate on this Phantom Lancer every time. He almost did it last fight, but we'll see.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh no. He gets the Spectre. He jumps down. Now he's free to just chase up. Phantom Rush doesn't do all the work here. He does get hit by the curse there. Dodges some of the damage with the thing, the doppelganger. And there we go, just a little bit of chase there. Doesn't want to go in, he's only at 100 HP. But, you know, just casual. Let's see, when does it show the recap? There we go. So, fight recap. Again, the PL does a good chunk of the damage. The Invoker did a lot there as well. Just with Forge Spirits and Right Clicks, apparently. That's impressive. But a good amount of damage still. And, you know, they get pretty much as good as they give here. This is about as even as a fight will ever get. Even though the enemies had to do a lot more damage. Like, the illusions take up a lot of HP, apparently. Because these are not super tanky heroes. So, you know, again, well, actually Viper's really tanky. I'm a little surprised it turned out like that. So that was more along the lines of what we would expect. But still, we would expect a lot less, I think, from a hero with as much carry potential as the Phantom Lancer, having been shot down as hard as he has been, and he only picked up 1 core item. I think he's fighting very well, these fights, compared to what other heroes, like an anti-mage with just a Battle Fury. That's, you know, that's even a more expensive item than a Diffusal. I don't think he would have had that team fight impact. And I think he would have died far easier. There's the Spectre now. Of course, the Diffusal is just completely shutting her down. Of course, there's a lot of other control elements there, but the damage clearly there came from the... we just wanna see, yeah. Okay, the damage was pretty spread there, but still a good amount of damage coming from the Phantom Lancer. Rogue's gonna get shut down here. Nothing they can do about that. They pretty much get caught out. He's gonna try for the Lich. And the Viper. Oh, no. So he managed to drain the Lich of all his mana before he could make it out. And now he's pretty much dead.
Radiant's bottom tower.
So he's not immortal, like it's not a completely broken hero. And now he has used the last of his charges, so I would upgrade the Diffusal Blade now. Get that sweet stat bonus for another 700 gold. You can get 15 agility and 4 int, which is quite a good deal. Quite a good deal. Not to mention that you get 8 charges on the Diffusal Blade as well. So very good deal. Very good deal. And while that was going on, they actually got the bottom tower as well, the bottom tier 3. So quite handsome there. Quite a handsome. Tribute. He's still doing, like, he's doing mediocrely in stat terms, but I think his contribution to the game is quite good for the start he had. Like, so a little bit of a skirmish there. Quite good for him. Good for his team in general that the Lich all gets spent there. The Lich does have his Aghanim Scepter, so this is an Infinity Bounce. They need to address it, they need to stop it somehow in fight. Though, of course, if they just take it away from creep waves, that pretty much takes care of itself. The thing with Phantom Lancer's illusions now is they actually only last a few seconds. So, I don't think they're much of a liability to just keep the thing going, the Lich ult going. It's just if he catches them at a crucial point in the fight, they, you know, can eliminate the Phantom Lancer. That's pretty much it. Else, it's too much. Go. He gets caught out here, the global silence, and he will go down. So that's more typical. He's really not that good at these big team fights. Really a lot better at taking on smaller team fights, the Phantom Lancer. So he got lucky in that first fight, but the ensuing fights, here, he's really not super good at those. He really wants to be able to take just 1 versus 2 fights is quite good. Like if he could catch the Lich and the Lifestealer, or even just the Spectre solo, he would have a good chance of doing a lot against her solo. But he isn't that good at team fights. So yeah, the thing, a little bit awkward now that I think about it with him, is that he's not actually that split pushy either. So it's more of a case of when, if he can get too big too fast, I guess. But regardless of this, I think, you know, he's doing pretty much what he can. He's looking for these engagements. He's too far behind to really hope to passively farm up anything. And these engagements are giving him far more anyway. Just those 2 supports there, 2,500 gold swing, 5,000 experience, quite decent. But in any case, they are gonna be hitting it up towards just ending the game. They do have an Evoker with quite a lot of farm. They do have a Mirana with quite a lot of farm. And they do have double Midas as well, so that's another thing to mention, that, you know, this horrible early game for this PL, you could say that bought his team space to get these Midases up and running, and only costing them a few deaths on the Phantom Lancer. Go. Nice use of Doppelganger there.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I think we're just gonna take this fight, and then we're gonna go back and look at the early game. Nice work there from Mirana. Timely crit. Yeah. So really, what the next this is pretty much how it's gonna look for the next long time as well. He's gonna pick up his Manta style in short order. He's gonna go into some other items. But really, we're not really interested in that, because the main thing you can improve on this game is the early game. We're gonna look at it. So again, the thing in the early game, what I really think it comes down to is these clarities. If you knew you were going up against the Lich, if you were really just looking at this and thinking, okay, I'm 100% just going to be up against this Lich offlane solo, you need to not have these clarities, because they're just going to get cancelled. You basically just have your tangos here. So I think the best thing here would have been to have more tangos, and then possibly, yeah, just having a support. Yeah, like having the Lina over here would have been far better than just having the Mirana solo. Honestly, that would have put you in such a good position to push the Lich out. The Lich can't out-harass a Lina with the range Lina has. Lina is also a fantastic harassing support. Not quite as good as the Lich, but still fantastic. And well enough that combined with your Spirit Lance, I think the Lich wouldn't have stood a chance to just, at least wouldn't have been able to just kill you. And you would have been able to make a much better start of it, would have been able to get a much earlier Diffusal Blade, and I think that would have been far better. Like, your contributions to this game was still pretty respectable. I think it would be hard-pressed thinking that you, with just a solo lane against the Lich, would have been able to carry the game more than you did. And you did win it. So I think, yeah, the biggest flaw here is that you couldn't do much with the item choices you went with here. These would have been fine, not too greedy normally, but I think, you know, at least the clarity would have been pretty mandatory here. And I think you would have needed to just leave the lane as soon as the Lich hits 6. I think the deaths after the Lich hits 6 here in the lane is by far the biggest mistake, yeah, in the entire game from you. And just going back to the lane again, it seems really greedy to me. Like, the Lich has demonstrated time and again that he's capable of killing you. And although it was close, like when you lose these close fights, like when you have these almost got 'em moments, you have to realize that that doesn't put you in any way even with him. That means he still got as much of an advantage as if he just killed you and you almost did nothing to him, because he's lost no gold, he's lost no XP. He might have you just might have forced him back to heal.
Denied.
That's the only thing that he got from that. So, you know, I think you need to consider that. Yeah. But you're definitely right. You lost the laning stage super hard. But I think, you know, there wasn't too much
Radiant's top tower is under
too
attack.
much micro-wise here in lane, not much control-wise. It was just that basic decision-making, just realizing I cannot go to this lane anymore, and just telling your team, I cannot go to this lane anymore, I will go jungle or I will go help fight bot, because I just cannot in any way defend going up top here and just, well, giving the Lich kills, because that's really all you accomplish in quite a long time here in the lane. Like right now it's going fantastic. While you still have regen and the Lich doesn't have 6, it's going fantastic. So if you just stay in the lane until the Lich hits 6, then, you know, that's fine. Like, you have to be aware the Lich will hit 6 really fast though, because, you know, it's a solo lane of XP, he has sacrifice, he's gonna hit it pretty fast, and you just can't hang out. You see here, here's the first kill. He'll try to dodge the Frost Blast here with the Doppelganger, but it is a targeted ability, it's really fast cast.
The prize is mine.
No. The Winter Warrior.
Yeah, not much you could have done there. Maybe the Invoker could have gotten lucky. You could argue that the Lich got a bit lucky here, but still, you know, I think the Lich should win this lane. So, I think that's gonna do it for this time. I hope you've enjoyed this video. My name's been Cerebellum, and yeah, the instructions for sending in replays, as always, will be in the description for this video. If you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing or liking it. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this time. Thank you for watching.